Okay. So if I did everything correctly, and I'm very quickly going to check that, we should now be live streaming. And I should now, I'm gonna check if everything is correct. And if so, I'm gonna take the chat and hopefully answer a few questions. I have a couple of things to say, but let's see, can I see myself? Is this working? Or is the internet just slow? Oh, I do see myself. It's very laggy, but hopefully yes, that's me apparently. Oh, that's great. Okay, so let's take the chat. Just a second. Like this, like this. Camera 1 FPS. Yeah, I don't know what's up with that. I'm gonna find out, I think. I don't know why it's broken. Is this working? Is there still 1 FPS? I think this place just has a bad internet connection. Let me check again the stream. Hopefully it's better now. Yeah, no, seems to be working now. Like, looks smooth now. Well, that's nice. And it's a little bit better now. That's good. That's good. Hopefully it's gonna stay like that. Nice. And yeah, very quickly, let me also press this button, which is gonna do magic. And then I can do this, I think. Yeah, I rushed it a bit, but now everything should be working. I've got to admit that the framing isn't great, the lighting more than the framing isn't great. It doesn't look awesome, but we do what we can with the time we have. And basically I've done one video every day for the last week. This one is the 7th day. And I just wanted to do a live stream to just talk with people, assuming there's gonna be people. There is quite a bit of stutter. Yeah, I guess the connection is bad. Maybe this was a bad idea. I don't know. Still dropping frames. Well, apparently so. Much better now. Yeah, hopefully it's gonna stay like that. I'm sorry about that. Anyhow, do you have any question? I am really meant to update this advent of Nico. It's actually 112 subs now, not 110, which is great. But still. Come on, end of week, let's do something a bit more fun and light-hearted. Do you have any questions? Anything to say? Any feedback on the videos from the previous days? Now I can actually see your comments in the teleprompter, which is nice. I still feel like this light, yeah, I've got a highlight under this eye, which shouldn't be there. Do you use Fedora Desktop? I do not use Fedora. Currently, I'm using Arch on this laptop, and that's it. I'm an Arch user right now. By the way, I use Arch. And I'm not like set. It feels like it just works to me, and it's very easy to set up. Nowadays, it didn't take any skill, which, believe me, I don't have. So that's great. I do want to try Kali Linux, however. It seems weird to say that, but I still haven't tried it. So I will. And I'll let you know how it goes. Actually, maybe that's the video I should have done today. Yeah, it's weird to try Kali Linux after this much time. What's your distro of choice? Yeah, weirdly enough, right now it's Arch. And again, I'm not much of a pro. Like, I just run Arch install, the script, and it mostly works out of the box, and I don't have to spend time tweaking it or fixing anything. So that's great. But yeah, I'm not distro hopping or anything. Do subs mean YouTube subscribers? No, I realize that it's not maybe a great term that I choose. I mean paying subscribers, like Patreons, but also on Ko-Fi, LibraPay, and on my website, the Libra.news. There's also some options there. And yeah, I'm just talking about people who pay each month to see some extra content. Let me increase the size of this thing, of the of the chat, because otherwise I can't read your messages. Just a second. Okay, now I can see you. What distro would you recommend to new users? That's a great question. Honestly, I don't have a clear idea, because I would say something like, well, KDE Neon is obviously out of the question nowadays. Maybe KDE Linux, but I haven't tried it yet, so I would feel weird recommending it. Or maybe just something like Ubuntu. Yeah, probably I would just go with Ubuntu. Yeah, it's not KDE. Maybe Kubuntu. But I also never tried Kubuntu, weirdly enough, so I'm not sure I can recommend it if I haven't tried it. I use Nix. Yeah, I should try out Nix. Nix is on my to-do list as video topics for like months. Multiple times I began working on an article about Nix and never managed to. So yeah, I should totally talk about Nix. Why is KDE sometimes have 105% scale? It's always almost always blurry. Okay, so I've seen this reported a couple of times. I haven't seen the bug report. Maybe this has been fixed yet. My personal guess is that we have some logic on our side which check the DPI and the size of the physical size of your screen and guess what's the best scaling for your personal device. As an example, if you're using a phone, you probably want some more scaling. It's not actually full HD. Or if you're using a very big TV, you also probably don't want 100% scaling. It's going to be way too small. So we just guess what's the best scaling for your device. And I guess that sometimes that best scaling is 105%, which I agree is weird. So I don't know if that has been fixed yet. That is my best guess as to what's happening out of the box. What's your take on systemd hate? I don't know much about that, but see, that's the thing. I am not a tech. How do I say this? I'm not very expert in. I don't know what systemd does. Like, I vaguely have an idea that systemd like manages systemd thingies. I do use like systemd enable, systemd start. I do know like the basic services. I don't know why people are hating on systemd. I should check, probably. How do you stay safe on Arch when anyone can upload a package? I don't know. Like, I just sort of assume that the Arch repositories, the Pacman repositories, are like safe. Is that not the case? If it's not, then I guess I'm I have more security issues than I thought about. Like, I know that like the Arch user repository is, you know, a user repository, but the official repository is anyone can upload a package. Is that really unsafe? What do you think of the GNOME desktop environment? I think it's good. It's a great environment. It's not my favorite one, but it's a great one. I don't have many bad things to say, honestly. When is the cube animation coming back to Switch desktop? I'm not sure it's gonna come back. I mean, honestly, the answer is whenever somebody implements it. Is anybody working on it right now? No. Is it on anybody's list of things to do? I don't think so, but I don't have access to everybody's to-dos. Pay somebody to implement it or something. I don't know. Otherwise, nobody's gonna do it probably. Perspective. Linux Mint XFC. Linux Mint is very often suggested. I gotta say, maybe it's a very good distro to suggest to new users. New users seems to be using it a lot. I don't know why. There's this weird thing where every time I react to a Linux Mint video, I like to jokefully hate on Linux Mint. I never tried it. I don't have anything against it, obviously. In your video from yesterday, I believe I had a rather enjoying line. Is that time? Enjoyable time? Thanks. I'm happy to hear that. When are individual desktop wallpapers coming back to Plasma? They were removed in KDE4. Again, as soon as somebody does that, which could be tomorrow, which could be never, I'm not aware of this feature being in anybody's to-do list right now, so it's anybody's guess. Again, if you pay somebody to implement it, then it's gonna be soon. If nobody does that, then each monitor has individual wallpaper. That's correct. I had a lot of people not understand that either producing open source tools or just entertainment is time-consuming endeavor, and to ever make it sustainable, it needs to be compensated in some form. Totally true. Totally true. Sup, Nico? Hello. Will Plasma make use of SCAD EXT to have better responsiveness, like earlier when we had latency D and PopOS had PopOS scheduler for calls? I have no clue. It's not the kind of thing that I work on in Plasma or that I worked on, so no idea, I'm sorry. Videos like 2 or 3 FPS, yeah, I'm sorry about that. I don't know what's up with that. Apparently this place has a bad internet connection. Not much I can do about it right now. Nothing to hate and nothing to be excited about regarding Linux Mint. I guess so. Maybe I should do a video like titled, "Why is everybody using Linux Mint now?" Because honestly, it happened like 4 or 5 times where somebody told me, yes, KDE is cool, but I prefer Linux Mint. I was like, why Mint? Why? Maybe I should do a video about that. Linux Mint specifically XFC because Cinnamon new version skips frame on multiple PCs. Sure. Only problem I have with Mint is GNOME, and KDE on Mint is buggy, and it's stuck on Xorg. Well, that's bad. Interact with public. YouTube is telling me that I can do a live streaming, but just to paying subscribers. No, I'm not gonna do that right now, thanks. What is your first KDE experience? Okay, so I still remember this one. It was, I'm not sure what year it was, but I can probably, because I was 16, so it had to be 2017. I'm pretty sure it was 2017. Basically, I had to go on a scout trip the next day, and it's the kind of scout trip that lasts 10 days. And for some reason, the night before, knowing full well that I had to wake up in the early morning and not see my computer again for 10 days, I started downloading like random distributions. Actually, it was just desktop environments just to see how they were. And I stumbled upon KDE Plasma, and I spent the whole night customizing KDE Plasma just to leave a few hours later without much sleep and never see KDE Plasma again for 10 days. That was my first experience, and I loved it. Isn't it super late over there? No, it's 5 p.m. Don't worry. It's 5 p.m. There's not much light, but it's not that late. KDE has been very stable. Whoops. KDE has been very stable. Oh, come on, YouTube. But I'm gonna kill YouTube if it doesn't stop. Okay, Kitty, as I was saying, has been very stable, but the last couple of months there has been a lot of bugs. Has anything changed in the development process? I think it's just a coincidence, and nothing has really changed. I'm not even sure what you're referring to specifically. Like, some people experience a lot of bugs randomly. Like, sometimes there's a bug that affects a specific group of people, and so that group of people is gonna think, oh, it's getting worse, but it's just because that time, unluckily, a bug affected their systems. It's very random. I don't think anything has changed. I don't think that we're getting more bug reports than usual. Do you think there's many reasons to be adamant about staying on X11, or do you think it's mostly fear of change? There are a couple reasons regarding like content creation, especially if you're like an artist. I'm aware of some issues, but the thing is that I still think it's good to give up on X11 entirely, because that way everybody's going to be forced to switch to Wayland, and there's going to be pain points, but they're going to be very clear and very loud pain points, and we're going to fix them very quickly. So that's good. So I think that you should try your best to switch to Wayland, and if you're unable to for any reason, you should be very loud into why you're unable to switch to Wayland, and we're gonna fix that. Are you a Qt purist, or do you use GTK in your Kitty? Do you use GTK applications? Like Inkscape. I love Inkscape. I think it's GTK. I'm pretty sure it's GTK, and yeah. Honestly, I just use what works best for me, and most of the times. The Wayland blockers Kitty docs. Yeah, there is a document regarding Wayland blockers, but I mean, at this point we got rid of the X11 session, so hopefully that page is empty-ish. I haven't checked in a while. So I started to feel very skeptical of systemd after one video in Russian saying that systemd is very sketchy because it's breaking Unix philosophy in also an attempt to control all Linux by IBM. I'm not sold on this thing, but I can investigate and let you know. But I'm really not sold. I think you can just use systemd and it's gonna be fine. Like, don't stress about it. Why does Kitty take so much longer to add many files to trash at once when compared to other desktops? I have no clue. This is the kind of things where you should like make a bug report, and people are gonna, go through it. I don't know about every single bug report, every single issue about Kitty Plasma. Sorry. Plasma usually crashes after 5 minutes of tinkering, but normal use it's fine. Again, do a bug report so that we can fix it. Otherwise, there's not much I can say except sorry. Even try to keep X11 alive via Xlibre since Kitty drops X11. They had, for example, fork Queen while Queen light, but it's a matter of time till that method even doesn't work anymore. Yes, just forget about X11 at this point. Yeah, sure. Like Queen, what's the name? There was a fork of X11 in KDE, but I forgot how it's named. But yeah, I don't think it's gonna have the resources to keep up. So I recommend against it. Just try your best to switch to, Sonic. Thank you. It's Sonic Queen. Yeah, just switch to Wayland. I meant that is Queen Light. They renamed it, yes. Now it's called Sonic because of the drama. I mean, it's not drama. It's they were violating Kitty's copyright, so not much drama there. They just had to change the name. And by the way, you know that I like to talk about the bad things that Lunduk does. Lunduk made a tweet making it seem like Kitty and Queen Light had this terrible argument and they were screaming at each other, when if you actually go ahead and check the bug report of Kitty telling Queen Light, hey, you can't use the name Queen Light, and Queen Light was like, oh, okay, I'm gonna change it, and Kitty was like, nice, thanks, and everybody was civil, and I was like, wow. It's incredible the way that it constantly tries to misrepresent every single interaction. It's so annoying. With the future Steam Deck products, will you improve Kitty for big and small screens? Adding to Kitty programs a vertical dock alternative menu with nested 3x3 submenus, for instance? What a specific question. Will you improve Kitty for big and small screens, finger-friendly? I mean, in general, there's an effort to do that, but it should be already like decently, like we've done some work on that. It should be already much better. A program vertical dock alternative menu with nested 3x3 submenus. No, I don't think anybody's working on that actively. It's way too specific, but yeah. There's a new OSK in the works, and out of context, would you look at KD1 that got ported to Debian 13? Oh, can you send me a link to that? I missed that. Yeah, I would totally look at KD1 for the lols. That is the person that called Theo a trans lesbian Python developer. Yeah. As older computers become incompatible with Wayland and more leading projects drop X11, there's going to be an increased divide between old Linux and new Linux. I don't think that's going to happen, because my guess is that new Linux is going to win over. Like, there's not going to be any divide, because nobody's going to care about using old Linux, except for maybe a few like either business or organization who are stuck with very old KDE versions or Linux versions. But realistically, for everyday users, yeah, there's not going to be an actual divide. Everything is slowly but surely going to switch to Wayland. Which Theo is that? Lunduk's comment section is unsufferable. Lunduk is insufferable. Everything around him is unsufferable. It's incredible. And now he's gonna clip this, put it to his Twitter page and saying, the guy that made a video with cat ears is saying that. Please consider writing a blog post or video on how new Linux users should identify where to send bug reports. You know what? I think that's a good idea, so I am going to do something to keep that idea somewhere. How? Okay, I'm gonna pin your message. That's very dumb. That's very dumb, but hopefully it's gonna make me remember to write this idea somewhere as soon as we finish this live stream. Yeah, I'm sorry, the internet is really bad, so you're gonna see me lagging. Got triggered by a mere cosmetic setting for progress bars. Yes, I didn't even talk about that, but it's so funny. GNOME added the ability to change the look of progress bars, and the options were pride flags. So that obviously triggered every conservative. Because, yeah, colorful progress bars. We don't want that, obviously. And, you know, I can understand people saying, I don't want progressive ideologies to be... I mean, I cannot understand that, but... like, sure, they're going to say that. Okay, but he said something that I found even funnier, which is, what am I going to pick for a progress bar if I'm straight? Because obviously there was no progress bar for straight people because there were colorful pride flags and there's not a colorful straight. And so it was like, What if I'm straight? What progress bar am I gonna use? Is that the problem? Honestly, that is so funny. It's unintentionally funny. It's sad that he's serious about it. If it was if it was just joking, it would be funnier. That being, do you like the idea of upcoming Steam machine? Oh yeah, I kind of want to buy one. The moment I read comment on Twitter, I just think, do you post dramas, or is it a tech journalist? Would normally tech journalist follower care about someone's view? I mean, it's fine to post about your view. I mean, I wouldn't call him a tech journalist, but sure. Nico, to those folks I say, let them cook. Lunduk is the Fox News. Yeah. Lunduk is the Fox News of the Linux world. There, we said it. It's gonna be proud of that, by the way. Yeah, I've seen these videos, and especially the clickbaits like LGBT is now forced on all Linux users, and the news is optional progress bar in one of the Flatpak stores. Yeah, exactly. And it's honestly so funny to see. I mean, it's funny for me, somebody who's very okay in his life, but for somebody who's actively discriminated against because they're part of like LGBT, probably that's not funny. I can speak today. Why is your Linux content so full of dogma? Like, change your life around Linux, don't dual boot. See, I didn't write that article. If you watched the video, midway through it, it's actually guest article, because I also do like videos and articles by other people, because I think it's cool. I don't want to be the center of attention, so I didn't write that. And it's true, it's quite dogmatic. I usually am not like that. But somebody else was, and I don't feel like I should go to them and say, no, I'm not gonna accept your article, even though I think it makes some valid points, because I don't like that it's too dogmatic. It's okay. Like, we can understand, hey, this is a bit too dogmatic for my tastes. Understand if there's still any good points from it, and move on. What do you think about Ladysbird browser and the libweb engine? I hope them the best, because I mean, I'm fully aware of the controversy from the author, and he has some very bad opinions. Like, sure, if we try to focus purely on the product itself, I think it's good to have like alternative browser engines. So I'm happy to see that. Obviously, I would prefer something like Servo, which does not have the same controversy around it for obvious reasons. But as just a product, I wish them the best and hope that it works out. Rewriting Kitty in Rust1. See, that's the other thing. That's the other thing about Lunduk. It keeps complaining about Rust, and it's incredible. Everything about the existence of the Rust programming language is woke somehow and has to be fought. We are in a fight against Rust. Sorry, don't get me started. Yeah, Kitty is gonna stay C++ and C, QML forever. I dual boot because on Linux editing software, especially David Resolve is horrible. Yeah, that's completely fine. To be completely clear, dual boot. I'm not saying don't dual boot. The reluctant anarchist who wrote the article is saying don't dual boot. We have different opinions. Hope your day was good. Yeah, I slept a lot finally. My phone, I have a sleep tracker, and my phone was finally, yeah, that was a good night of sleep. I have not heard anything about Ladybird except no politics policy. Yeah, no, there's a bit more to it than that. It started as no politics, and it ended as, how do I say this? Something right-wing politics, but pretending for them to be common sense. Okay, do you get what I mean? When people tell other people about political views and support other political people, and they say then, okay, but that's not politics, it's like common sense, and then turns out that common sense is about supporting somebody who believes in who's a white supremacist. Like, do you get what I mean there? Yeah. It's so funny how a conservative faction emerged on a discussion about programming languages. Yeah. Politics. What's your Mastodon account? It's, let me check. It's on Fostodon. I think you can just go to Fostodon and search for Nikolov, and that should be enough. Yeah, of course, my internet is not interneting, so yeah, it's at Nikolov at fostodon.org. So yeah. The Linux kernel is woke. Linus has admitted that he is woke. By the way, I'm not sitting on a chair. I'm sitting on a bed, and it's so uncomfortable. This is my girlfriend's bedroom, and I'm staying over for a few days, but I couldn't set up a proper recording environment. The only problem with Rust rewrites is license change, and I'm in GPL copyleft camp and against permissive stuff. And by the way, Ladybird is permissive, so it could be forked and closed source anytime. Yeah, I agree with you. I prefer GPL copyleft and that sort of stuff. I'm a 16 years old using Fedora Silverblue. Did you ever use Atomic desktops? No, I never had a chance, but I'm a fan. I think they are a great idea, and if we want more people to use Linux, actually, forget that. I did use one because I have the Steam Deck, and the Steam Deck is Atomic, isn't it? Huh. I don't recall if it's also Atomic or just immutable. I'm sure it's immutable. But yeah, it was just the Steam Deck. So on my computer, I never used one. But for other people, I think they're a great idea. Shopify being one of the 3 largest sponsors of Ladybird also isn't inspiring confidence, especially with their Trust Me Bro model of governance. Yes, but Shopify isn't a great sign, because there's this whole network-ish of products that go from like Hyperland, which is a great product. The person who makes Hyperland, disagree with him in a lot of ways, but he's had some moments before. Now he's gotten better. Sometimes he's saying some stuff that is and then Hyperland is used by DHH, and DHH is like white supremacist, and that's like, oh, that escalated quickly. And then of course there's Ladybird guy who also defends DHH, and everything is connected. So yeah, they're sort of creating this conservative Linux community. I mean, people gonna be people. And yeah, Shopify is another dot of this network of. I was tempted to do like a video that's like the conservative network in Linux and talk about Lunduk, DHH, and everything Shopify. But I also didn't have like one entire month to work on a single video. I don't have that many resources right now. Yes, SteamOS is Atomic, so I did use an Atomic desktop. Sorry, I didn't remember whether it was or not. So to market Linux, you guys wanna do the is content and convert Linux to convert into Linux is the good way kind. No. That's not my plan. Forcing people to watch Linux content. Neri is better for me anyways. I just like it typing RPM OS3 status and seeing every change I made, to be honest. Yeah, that's the kind of thing that I should be investigating. Like, I have so little time to do these kind of things. Let me zoom in on this chat even more so I can actually see it better. Okay, now I see just a few messages, but I see them really big. Sup brother, where do you live? I live in Italy. I'm from Italy. I prefer GNOME, but I like KDE and your blogs and stuff. I'm here to say hi to Nico and chat. Hello. It's completely fine to prefer GNOME, to be clear. Completely fine. I praise GNOME myself. Linux is the only awake human being on these planets. So we've got some MIT license fans in chat. I heard that Omarchy is political or something. Is that related to human rights or is it purely related to software? No, it's related to human rights. I'm not aware of any political interpretation of the software itself. Use Omarchy, don't use Omarchy, whatever. But yeah, the guy that's developing DHH has very strong and very unappealing political opinions. Hyperland's hyperdev's toxicity is the reason why I mirror Cosmic. Honestly, I don't think they're that toxic right now. I think it's much better. Like previously, I disagreed with him because he was like, yeah, let's change the name, the pronouns of somebody for fun, and that was very bad. But he said he was sorry-ish, and things have gotten better. And now our disagreements are more like about it feels a bit into how do I say this? A bit into toxic masculinity type of arguments, like if you cannot try to get a woman's numbers because otherwise she might claim you're harassing her, and that would be horrible, and but which doesn't make sense in my opinion. So that's the kind of disagreements that we have now, which is much better from before. So I think it's, yeah, improvements. GNOME and KDE would be my two options too, but I think I prefer KDE. Yeah, same, honestly. That is something that I could write myself. I installed Koshi OS KDE to try to turn it into Hyperland. It worked great until I installed Discover Store, which broke my whole distro. How did that happen? Yeah, that sounds fun. Koshi OS I've heard about. I've never used it. What's the value proposition of Koshi OS? I don't really know. Oops. Yeah, I'm in a very awkward position trying to read comments from sitting weirdly on the side of a bed. It's nice that in these live streams I could almost like not say anything and you would still have awesome discussions in the chat. Anyway, even without me, I see all of you saying some very interesting stuff. I hope that audio isn't too bad. Like, I've given up on good video given how bad the internet is, but I hoped audio would work at least. I found NixOS and it I can do this. I found NixOS and it revolutionized my Linux life. Yeah, I gotta try NixOS. Yeah, I'll try it. I promise I'm gonna try it soon. Instead of fragmenting into a myriad of different distributions, it would be better to focus efforts into one, brought to mind. Yeah, that's not gonna happen because people want different things. It's like saying that we should only have one operating system. Sure, but it's not gonna happen. What are some good freelancing options after software engineering? I don't know. I'm sort of discovering that myself. I was sort of burning out from software development, so I stopped that. And now I'm doing videos, so that's your answer. Apparently, for me, a good freelancing option after software engineering is live streaming. That's the beauty of community, yes. Do you know what will happen to Kubuntu after KDE drops Neon and use the new distro? I'm probably still gonna exist because Kubuntu value proposition is, sorry, I messed up. Okay, I was saying Kubuntu's value proposition is Ubuntu, but with KDE Plasma. Makes sense, right? KDE Linux is a distribution based on Arch. Is it Arch? I'm pretty sure it's Arch. Based on Arch, that's developed by KDE, which is different. And even if we have a KDE distro, people might still want Ubuntu but with KDE Plasma. So most likely Kubuntu is still gonna exist, just like we had KDE Neon and Kubuntu, which were different things. KoshiOS is my first distro. I just like that it has a download everything for gaming button and also update button, so I basically didn't even need to use terminal ever on Arch. Okay, interesting. So maybe I should check it out. Plasma X11 session exists. Yes, but we're no longer developing it. So I guess that distros might still offer it, but to my knowledge, it's no longer supported by KDE. So like, I don't know if bug fixes are backported to X11, but new features, nope. Kubuntu is the older sibling. Yeah, that's a nice way to put it. Way older. Doesn't KDE already have their own distro? Yes, KDE Neon, but KDE Neon had issues, and there were nobody who was really managing to fix them. So now we've got a different distro, and probably the new distro is gonna sunset KDE Neon. I don't think KDE Neon is gonna live much longer, I think. It has the Arch kernel, but no package manager. Yeah, that was what I vaguely recalled as well. I don't think Kubuntu relies that much on KDE Neon. Yeah, it doesn't rely at all. Did I say that? I hope I didn't say that. KDE Linux is the most confusing name they could have chosen. We should have gone with KDE Banana. Clearly, what a missed chance to use KDE Banana. Now we're gonna stick to saying like KDE Linux Banana Edition. Video is super choppy. Yeah, I'm sorry about that. I'm afraid there's nothing I can do. And by the way, I have to go in 5 minutes. So yeah. KDE Linux distros is, yeah, KDE Linux. Yeah, no, it's a bad name. What would I've picked? I don't remember if I proposed anything. KDE Linux, KDE OS. I don't like KDE OS. I think that's worse. Or is it? No, but I do like KDE and then a word which is capitalized but has like under. My brain is melting. A capitalized letter under. How do you say it again? Not capitalized letters. KDE banana. Kinux. Okay, I totally would have voted for Kinux now that you mention it. So why in the world is it called Project Banana? Weirdly enough, I don't know. You should ask Harald. He's the one, I think, who came up with banana. I don't know, honestly. Who is it for? Ideally, everybody. Like every single person on Earth, on planet Earth. We want to take over the world using KDE banana. But yeah, more realistically, it's for KDE fans, for sure. And also for people who seek a stable distro that is made, yeah, that is cool and works and has KDE Plasma on it. Conky OS, not gonna take KDE OS, nor I'm gonna take Cool OS, sorry. Florp. Yeah, it's quite close to KOS, but no, it's still GNU Linux. I love that. By the way, I'm also working, and it's taking more than I wanted to. I'm designing a web page on my thelibre.news website with all the data from 5, if I recall correctly, different sources. Yes, it's 5 different sources about Linux market share. So you can just update it every month automatically. So you can just open the website and see, here's Linux market share compared to last month according to this data and this data and this data and this data and this data. So we are going to have a lot of data about how Linux is going. KDE Linux for scale. So yeah, I'm quite excited about this aggregator for Linux market share website idea. So I think I'm gonna do that. So I think I'm gonna end now, especially because Plasma OS would have been cool. I was saying, especially because my computer is gonna die and I cannot charge it and live stream at the same time. I gotta pick, so I'm gonna go. I have to eat. And I'm gonna say just that you can see here, I think, the counter for paying subscribers. And the thing is that, as I said, I took a break from software development. So now I'm trying to make a living with videos and such. So if you can subscribe to the links in the video description, then I'm gonna be able